Good day.
Good
We
day.
are back. I've checked, it is Monday.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure it is
95%
Monday.
sure. It feels like a Monday. So it must be. It must be. I mean, to get started, we've always got our little side quests that we do. So my side quest, just to kick things off and get the ball rolling, is I'm contemplating buying or building a new computer. So and let's just show. I don't think there's anything private here, but if we, oh no, is it going to make me restart?
Yes.
Let's see here.
Love that.
Well, one of my new updates is, I got to quit and reopen. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just posting that I'm going live. Hold on.
Faster than you expected, wasn't it?
Whoa. Hold on, your audio glitched. What'd you say?
Am I back? Is the audio
Yes.
good?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I feel like my video is better. What about you? Do you think it's a little clearer?
The sun is like casting like really interesting things on the wall. So maybe it's the light. Something's up there. It's making it very contrasty. No, it was good. No, it's great. Like it's good.
Oh,
you're
okay.
like,
well, get away with the sun. Good. The sun can go away.
Yeah.
No, I switched. I don't know. I'm tormenting myself. I switched to Mac now. So I was on Windows, was on Ubuntu for a little bit, dealing with WSL, totally fine. But now I was like, you know what? I plan to like go to some coffee shops and stuff and travel a little bit just to get out of the house. It's like I'm gonna go back to the M1 Mac. So,
oh yeah,
I might have some setup things, but the other news is I have this very nice graphics card that's going to go unused if I don't use my Lenovo Tower. So I was thinking about, and I bought it for work, but I bought it so I can take it and do what I will with it. So I'm thinking about buying building a computer because it's been, I don't know, maybe 15 years since I built one, almost from scratch. It's been a while.
Oh man.
So I'm going to pull up my Newegg profile just so you can take a look.
What's the graphics card?
It is the RTX 3060 12 gig. So it's pretty decent. Not amazing, but decent.
Is that like 3-4 years old?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
But I think Elden Ring is the most graphics intensive thing that I'll probably play.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Let's see here. So here's what I'm looking at. Can you see? Is this the right one? Yeah, this is it. So this sweet fractal case. I want it to be small, mini, and powerful. So I can fit like a legit awesome graphics card in here. So there's that. I'm probably trying to find a motherboard. So if anybody on stream is like super into building computers and they're like, that's a ridiculous component, don't buy that, just let me know. Put it in the comments and let me know. Think about going with the Ryzen 5. One of the newer ones. Got a good sale going on. Probably start with just 32 gigs of RAM, just to save some cost there. I don't really need 96 just yet. And then I need a low profile cooler. But I have an SSD. I think I found a better deal on a power supply, small form factor power supply on Amazon, so that's not here. So it's going to be like $600 to $800 to build what I want, which is not too bad. Okay. The alternative is to go with the Steam Deck, but
Yeah, I've been thinking of getting a Steam Deck myself.
I would, but I wouldn't play it anywhere else really, because my kids would probably want to steal it from me. So I can hide my gamingness inside this sleek tower, which is my ultimate plan. So, but yeah, if anybody in the chat has any suggestions on components, I'm all ears. But that's what I've been up to this weekend. You said that you finally got your keyboard.
Oh yeah, but I got to reorder it, unfortunately, because I did it through Etsy, and there's like a long drop down list that's combinatorial. So it's like this plus this plus this, and I was like, okay, I think that looks right. And then the person like replied today. I was like, well, you're saying you want these keycaps, but you didn't order the keycaps. I'm like, oh man. So I gotta like remove the order, reorder with the keycaps, and then it should come in. I had the hardest time like tracking down because it's a wireless keyboard, but it's being
Okay.
shipped from Hong Kong
Okay.
because the person who solders the stuff like lives there, like prints the PCBs, manufactures it there. But shipping batteries is like pretty difficult. So I had to like source battery somewhere separately, and I had to like be like, oh, Masson, like, hey, where do I get batteries? And
It's
like
like
all of
black
the
market
hardware
battery
nerds were like,
hacking.
okay, yes, that's difficult.
You're
So
gonna get questioned by your government authorities. What are you building? I'm building a keyboard. Right. You're building a keyboard. Right. No, I
yeah. But
swear, it's a 30%. It's yeah.
yeah. But I found batteries. I've
Excellent.
batteries ordered and they should come in. And now I got to figure out how to add like JST connectors to them, which I learned
Okay.
about. Like, what's a JST connector? It's a Japanese standard solderless connect. I'm learning about hardware. It's fun.
Fun learning. I
Yeah.
love that we both take little adventure side quests like that. But I guess
Yes.
to start with the main meal, the main course here, what we
Mhm.
decided to focus the next couple streams on is kind of doing a side-by-side comparison. So we got all the way to deploying a spin example, a spin cube on AKS. That was cool.
Uh-huh.
But we found out that we can't deploy our existing component, the WASI Clippy, because spin adds some extra configuration that it needs to
Mhm.
be able to determine how to deploy it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and walk through taking that component and then building it how with the spin tools. So that way we can deploy it to spin cube on AKS. And then we're
Uh-huh.
going to go through the same path because there's a different alternative, a different path. Is it WASM Cloud? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
we'll take that same component that we built from scratch, not using the tooling, build it to spec their way and deploy it on their cloud or their platform. I think would be a better way to say that. So then we'll have an example, like kind of an apples and apples comparison between the two.
Mhm.
And then, as you and I both like to do, we like to build tools. So we'll probably work on something that allows us to take the config, so you don't have to go through all the way back to step one and build like spin new project or Wasm Cloud. I don't know what their tools are called yet, but we'll find
Yeah.
out. So that's the
Yes.
idea. That's the target that we'll start with. So I'll just share my screen. And again, I don't think I've done anything with this Mac since I got it. I took it to build
Ooh.
like a year or two ago. So I might be missing some things, but nothing. Luckily on Mac, it's just a brew command away.
Mhm.
So let's see here. Let me share my screen.
Oh,
What's
this
up?
is where Adwin would have like come in real handy because you're migrating from your old machine to your new machine, so
Mhm.
you can sync your shell history.
That's what it's
Yeah.
called. I couldn't remember what it was called the other day. So that is on my list to do. So if we
Okay.
have a moment, maybe we'll just do that.
I mean, it takes I don't know, 10 seconds or less than a minute to install. You could like even do it now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll focus here. All right. So
You can also say no and like just do it some other time.
we'll at least get started today. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I did lose my bookmarks.
Aye,
when
aye,
I was,
aye.
so spin, and I'll increase the font size because it's probably small. Well, that doesn't super help. Wait till we get to the docs. So we're here. Quick start. Docs.
Do you have your two monitors set up?
I have, yeah. So I'm actually just using the MacBook monitor now.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't have to clutter my space. I can just close the lid. That was another reason for switching back to the Mac.
That's fine.
So I think the docs are somewhere here, but the app that we wanted, if you go to GitHub, so your WASI Clippy.
Yeah.
So I could pull that down and because we'll probably just have to move the code over
Exactly.
for it. So we'll just keep that in our back pocket. So let's try to figure out quick start maybe. This is where I was.
Yeah, let's do that. And I sent you a link for their
Oh, okay.
one of their sample apps. But if we just follow the instructions here.
Yeah, this should at least get us the tooling, right? Let's see here.
Yeah.
Now we're in
exactly.
business. All right.
I want to say like we should even like deploy their sample app.
Okay. Want to start there? Sure.
Yeah. And then we can adapt it and then we can see if we can convert the Clippy one.
Oh, the other thing that I spent too much time on. this weekend. Oh, okay, let me just show you. I have 276 lines of, let me increase this, of VS Code key bindings and settings. So to completely mimic my NeoVim config. So if we go key bindings, key shortcuts here.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my latest edition. So I wanted to be able to toggle the panels, like move left to right, right to left. So it's basically hunting for these particular commands in VS Code.
Oh, that's fun.
But now I can switch. So if I do, and switch back to, let's see here, settings. It was at Control H. Oh, Shift. See?
Ooh, fun.
Yep. Anyway, okay. Quick.
Oh, that's very fun. I always wanted something like that, but I didn't have it in me to like hunt for it.
Yeah. Well, I got a good start from somebody that got like the basic navigations down, but then there was like, well, how do I get Copilot to do the command? And then it overrid some like, Vim positions, like go to next, go to previous position that I use quite often. See, I should upload this because it'd be super useful, but you could basically because I didn't want to recreate a bunch of commands. I wanted like, what are the NeoVim native commands, or like the most common remaps for NeoVim in VS Code. And that's what I've been able to do.
I see.
I'll share that with you later.
Yes, please.
So let's get spin installed.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's a brew command just yet for that.
Yeah. So the thing with spin is, like we established like before. So we have the standard WebAssembly tooling and the Cargo component tooling, and the like WASM time is the runtime. Spin takes all of this and it wraps it to make it do more, to sort of get ahead of the specifications and be like, okay, we're not going to wait however long it takes us to create the Postgres bindings or the full integration for Redis or, whatever is there. Instead, it says like, we're going to make that because we know it's useful. It is what people use. So it wraps all that stuff. And so the spin command also wraps what Cargo component does, I believe. And it adds a little more. It has a custom config. And so we're going to try that out. And hopefully like we can try and understand where the differences are.
That's the intent. Yes.
Yes.
So now I probably need Rust installed, I would imagine, but I have Spin, the Spin CLI.
Do you have Rust C or Cargo?
I don't yet, but I will get them.
Okay.
So let's see here. Install the prerequisites, the quickest and most convenient way, Spin template for your preferred language.
You probably should install Rust up.
Yeah.
Yay.
Is this it?
That's it.
Okay. Proceed with defaults, probably. Yeah.
Default, yeah.
I am still pretty impressed by the M1.
Yeah, it's good, right?
It is.
My partner just got a new laptop, the M3, and just seeing like how quickly it compiles stuff, it's just nice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Back. Okay, so I've got that. Don't I need some like component, like so I could do Rust? A Cargo component.
Let's just follow the we need more stuff for the full thing, but for now all we need to do is I think you can follow what they're saying here.
Oh, here, let's move this because I don't have to do dot spin all the time. Okay. So we've got spin set up, install a template. If you use the installer script above, the templates are already installed and you can skip the section. Okay.
Okay.
So tools, we're going to be using Rust.
That may not work, which is fun. That might be out of date.
Okay.
Try that for fun. Oh.
I need a new shell session.
Yeah, you need to source it or Z shell. Just
there we go.
Does that work?
It says it works. Downloading component.
Weird. Why does that work? I still don't know why that works. Because we renamed the targets, and this should have like been removed entirely already. I think. Yeah. The new target name is WASM32-WASI-P1.
Oh.
And we're
dash WASI P1.
No dash. Like that. Yeah. You had it.
Huh?
Yep.
You can get both.
Yep. Apparently. Yeah. They should update those instructions.
Is this on GitHub? I'll do a pull request. Let's see here. Now we want to do sample apps. You're now ready to create your first spin application.
Yep.
Spin new.
Let's try.
And that's actually an HTTP Rust, right? The WASI Clippy. WASI Clippy. I wonder if it'll create me a new folder.
Probably.
Oh, yes. Let's make that delineation. Oh, JWorks. So many CLI tools don't support JK or HAJKL. JKL.
Lovely.
Like GitHub the GH CLI forces you to use the arrow keys.
Oh,
shame.
I know. The Vim bindings everywhere. I'm gonna miss that because my new keyboard. I'm changing the layout to Canary.
Okay.
Which changes the position of HJKL. And so instead you need to do a key mod to like hit the arrow keys on the same place, which I think is fun. I don't know.
Oh, you'll figure it out. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
No description.
Yep.
Just default path. Does this create me a new file? I put it in the directory.
Yes.
Boo.
Oh.
I should have created a new spin WASI Clippy.
No, it's there, right? WASI Clippy.
It is, but I'd rather it all be in a folder and not my root directory.
Isn't it?
I don't think so. Is it?
Oh, look, there's a directory there.
Oh, what's the spin sig though? Like I put some things in the root, and the cert pem wasn't there before.
What? What's inside of WASI Clippy spin? Can you tree it?
Tree.
Oh, and a README? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a README now, so I should probably nuke it and recreate.
Okay.
And RM README, spin sig, cert, license. The cert pem. I'm curious if it created the cert pem or not. I'd imagine so. I don't think I would have downloaded it to my default directory. Anyway, so let's change into, let's create a new directory. And then rerun the spin command. Spin new, Rust, WASI Clippy, spin.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Funny. So Cargo has the init command that does it in place, like locally, and the new command, which creates a new subdirectory. But apparently spin kind of does it all in one.
Well, not created a double directory, so let's just move.
Wild.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's not empty? What's still inside of it? Oh, nothing.
Is it hidden? Oh, I don't have that alias.
-LA.
-LA. Yeah, here. Oh, and I could ignore.
I mean, that's useful.
Would that work?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting better with my bash commands.
Hell yeah.
Remove directory, WASI. There, now we're all happy. I thought I had LA as an alias. Maybe LSA? No, I don't know. Maybe I used to on my other system. I'll have to recreate it. Okay, so we've got that now. And we should have, it should look like this. Cargo. Did it ignore? Ha.
Funny.
Okay, so we got that. Everything's correct. So.
Okay. Good.
What's it want us to look at here?
The spin.toml.
Spin.toml. Okay.
Okay. Root component.
So this is that metadata I was talking about, that you're talking about.
Look at line, I think 11. No, 15. The relative numbers are always going to trip me up. Like I have no idea what line we're on.
Not that one. Here. Settings, JSON, lines. What's it called? And
relative.
Editor line number. That's what I was thinking of. I use it because then I can go, oh, that's 10. You know. 6.
Absolute.
What's the other absolute? Or you can do that. All right. See how fast I can move around tabs with VS Code? It's amazing.
That's lovely.
It's amazing. Okay, here we are. What would you find interesting? 17?
So apparently we can check it out. Like this config file, we get to say like, hey, we have an artifact that lives on this path. And this is the name of the artifact. And here are the permissions for that artifact. Namely on line 15, it says like, it is allowed to call out to these other things, which is a capability. It's allowed to make connections. And then there's the build command, which is also kind of nice. So what I'm seeing here is really interesting because it means that if we were to add this and do a spin build to our existing cargo Clippy, this might just work.
Okay, we just have to add how we're expecting it to be built and run.
Potentially. It's looking promising.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, so here's where it wants us to actually build the component. This is looking familiar, but using their SDK instead of your standard library.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this goes into what?
Our
Hello Rust.
Main.rs, I assume. Source main.rs.
Hello Rust component. Hello Rust WASM. Okay, where's the RS file that it's supposed to go into?
It'll be under source/main.rs or librs. Already scaffolded out, most likely.
librs. Weird. Oh, that's why. Is it R dot? There we go. And now I can do open me lib rs. Okay. So it wants us to replace this, or did it? This is
I think that's
still
the
there. Yeah, still there. Okay, so it built this for us. Okay. Now we can build it. And it looks at the TOML to determine how to do that. If you would like to know what build command spin runs for the component, you can find it in the manifest and ID build, which we just looked at.
Mm-hmm.
Dash up. Spin up. I'm curious how that's working.
So spin wraps WASM time as a library,
Okay.
and it adds a bunch of custom extensions to it. And they've added that to the spin command. So
so is it hiding it though? Because I don't have WASM time.
as a library. So as
It's a library. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
just pull it down from cargo and you can like do your own stuff to it, which is kind of fun.
Spin up.
And then we can probably visit the URL.
Yep.
Hello Fermion. Pew.
Excellent. I could curl it. Oh, here's my other, what I've done to my VS Code, because I've done some tmux to it. So let's forget, because the integrated terminal locks the bottom, and I want to use it, move it around like I would an editor window.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
And then I can, Shift H. I don't know how to figure out. Remember my hotkeys. But and then I also had to like figure out how to close it, so it actually closes the editor window, because you have to open up an editor and then a terminal in the editor. So if you exit the terminal, it just exits the terminal and leaves you with a editor. Anyway, so we have that. We can get to it here. Do we want to try to get our component to work?
Let's run it, or even like deploy it first.
Okay.
I want to say
to SpinCube, or where do you want to deploy it?
Yeah. We still have that cluster, right?
I have to recreate it. I don't think it was too many steps though, and we've got a good 30 minutes or so we can work through that.
Basically, I'm keen to like follow their tutorial like through to the end and confirm that everything works. And once we've seen it like all working, we can like go back, like, okay, time to tweak stuff, time to see like what does or doesn't work. Because like we hope that their tutorial is correct, but we've never actually tried it. So,
Here we go. Yeah, all the way through. We did their sample app, but
exactly.
So I'm already logged in. Let's create resource group. Central US. At least I'm not on my Windows and having to have ChatGPT turn bash into PowerShell again. Okay, so we got that. Now we'll create a cluster.
By the way, the reason why I'm saying like, hey, let's go through the tutorial steps at least like once is not because I don't trust Fermion. It's more like because we already like tried to debug stuff once and we were like, oh, it doesn't know what we're trying to do. It gave us no information. So seeing one time like what the happy path looks like.
Failed capacity restrictions.
Wait.
Oh, because West Germany is far from me.
Oh. Are you using the Vim bindings?
I'm not, no. Not yet. Okay. Central US. See if it'll let me deploy there. That's not a very big VM. Although we did get a lot of restrictions in our current subscriptions.
Oh, since when? Is that new?
Yeah, relatively new.
But we're on this is the free tier.
I know. Well, yeah, the free tier uses this particular SKU, but that's not a large. If we look this up.
What?
Azure. This is 2 CPU, 7 gigs of memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our subscriptions are pretty constrained.
Can we get it down even further? Like take the smallest? Will that even work?
Yeah, it probably would work to deploy spin. I'm just curious if there's any regions. Maybe there's particular regions they want us to deploy to.
I don't know.
I'll just keep trying different regions, and if not, we can alter the config. But I deployed a 3 node this size Friday.
Yeah.
To East US 2.
Okay.
So there we go.
That's
we might
better, right?
actually just have region restriction, or maybe I do in mine. I don't know. They made changes that I couldn't follow, but I ran out of Azure credits in my MSDN. So
oh damn.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was doing the Ratify stuff, so I had to have a pretty big cluster deployed.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm surprised by that. Because like Ratify just validates signatures, right?
Yes, but it depends on it doesn't have its internal policy engine quite yet, so it uses Gatekeeper, and so Gatekeeper's a pod, and then Ratify's a pod, and then you got the clusters themselves. So it needs to be a 3 node cluster at 2 CPU each to run. Because then there's all the built-in stuff that AKS has, like it comes with an Nginx Ingress controller. It comes with a bunch of stuff in that managed service. Locally, it runs a lot lighter, but there's just stuff that's included in the managed service.
Because I'm thinking like I'm like doing the math. It's like, okay, you got to parse an HTTP request, and then there is a like validating a hash. Okay, great. that's the full extent, like roughly the extent of it. Oh, some policies. So like a couple of if statements, I don't know.
It's a little more complicated if you dive into all the policy stuff.
I know.
I haven't gotten into that yet. I've been mostly focused on the KMP, the key management provider. So, well, at least this is going to work. So it's more of an issue with a region. My subscription might be locked to particular regions. So that's probably more the issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't think it'll be an issue that our cluster is in a different region than the resource group. That's totally acceptable. Make that bigger.
Region. Yeah. Makes sense. By the way, about the Ratify stuff, I'm just teasing a little bit. Right? No, if you're like running at scale, like it makes sense to like do it exactly this way.
No offense taken.
Okay.
Don't make fun of the code I wrote.
I wouldn't. By the way, what was that the stuff that, because I helped you like with a patch for a little bit. Was that
that just got well, I think I've got it got merged without a squash, so I've got to redo it, but it did get merged. It will get merged.
Very cool.
Let me show you.
As we're waiting for the cluster to deploy.
A little way to pass time. So this took me. This is like 3 months of work.
Okay.
I was pretty happy with it.
That's a chunky PR.
I should have made it smaller. I couldn't figure out. I basically made the PR like a full feature where I could have done it piecemeal, but I didn't. But yeah, let's see the code where you helped me write the stuff.
Just in general, like what does this do?
Oh, sure. So I can start. So the one component of Ratify is the KMP, the key management provider, which allows you to kind of define a provider, which would be like, how are you providing your certificates and keys? Are they stored in Key Vault? Are you providing the public key inline to the config? I think it's right now only Key Vault is supported, like Azure, but they want to add, other cloud providers, KMP solutions. And there wasn't a way to refresh. So if you revoked or changed your certificate, you needed to delete a Kubernetes resource and then recreate it to refresh your certificate stores. Okay. So what this does is it allows you to define an interval on refreshable resources like, Azure Key Vault, and then update the certificates inside Ratify. Is what it lets you do. Yeah. So I think you helped me with, it would have been clusters, key management provider, view file.
Alberto.
right here with config. And that was so we could mock the interface.
I see. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Looks like that finished.
Yes.
Side quest complete.
Thanks for joining us, Alberto. Wasn't chat time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's like, yeah, I've watched every episode. I'm like,
Oh, that's
super
fantastic.
nice.
I had no idea. Thanks for letting us know. Hopefully the side quests aren't too much. We're too far into this point to change it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I'm like, if you're too much, I don't think I can like not go on tangents.
I think it's just a way of how our brains work, it seems.
I think so.
All right. So now we're just doing the AZ get CLI get credentials so that we can use our local Kubernetes. I don't have my aliases. Oh well. So now we should be able to get the namespace. We don't really. I know. kubectl get namespaces. There.
Okay.
Ah, sweet. Every bit is pretty entertaining. So that's a win for side questing.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, this is all set into the cluster. We need to deploy the operator. We can do that. And we'll move fast since we did this previously. Something with cert manager. Again, I imagine all this will be like neatly wrapped up in a Helm deploy at some point.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Because this is a lot of infrastructure bits.
It's also just like we're just blindly copying and pasting at this point.
I vaguely understand what it's doing, but like I've never built an operator before. That would be fun to do. I know that there's a CRD with it, but and then like the certs manager makes sense, but I would imagine that's managing the certificates for the spin applications, and not the cluster itself, which is cool. Okay. And this is what we tried to do. WebAssembly supports
partially, right?
Kubernetes. Yeah, partially. Configuration. So now we're ready to deploy that.
We
annotate and let all the nodes run the KWASM. That's just the shim in it into container D. Is that right? Let's verify.
Should be.
Kubernetes. Oh, it's still the operator. Adds a WebAssembly support to the Kubernetes nodes. It does this by running a container image. Yeah, this is exactly what we did.
It is
a container image that contains the binaries and configuration variables needed to run pure WebAssembly images. So we totally did that.
I want, interesting. Because I know there's like definitely a desire to like run these things like natively as well, but sounds like we're not doing that yet.
Sounds like, yeah, I believe that's accurate.
Which means it won't be more efficient than it just won't be more efficient yet.
So this is a good point. So started Rust about a year ago, and this Kubernetes stuff is harder from so if you don't have a heavy infrastructure background, a lot of the mental models don't fully transfer. But that made it easier for me because I had not the coding background, but the infrastructure. So I knew like, oh, storage does this. And I'm like, you're basically putting an API in front of all this infrastructure stuff, which is cool. But it just comes with time. It really will. It's just like any kind of new concept that you're learning. Programming is just an abstract, but
yes.
Yeah, just give it time. Just like the programming stuff will make sense to me in time that Yash keeps telling me about. Like the third, fourth pass, I'm like, oh, yes, that's what you mean. All right. So now let's see if the operator is working. Yes'm.
Yay.
And man, this is like a lot of infrastructure set up. It's starting to make the Ratify install look easy. We got to set up like a workload identity. Got like 80 lines of Terraform to do all that stuff. And then you need a shim. Okay, we did that. And that's the executor. That's what allowed us to deploy the spin app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still really impressed how they've modeled the Kubernetes ecosystem with it, though. It makes it easy. So instead of deploying this, I wonder. So what we'd have to do you want to deploy their sample app or the local one that we did?
Let's do the local one that we did, right? So we've gone so far already. Like we've done this. And now we have a cluster and we should be able to point at it, right? With our thing.
Yes. So a few missing pieces of what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to figure out how to upload
Check out
our.
if there's a spin push command or something. Spin dash help locally.
Yeah. Spin dash help. Push. Deploy. Package and upload an artifact with Fermion Cloud.
Let's do a
registry working with
deploy dash help.
Well, if you look at registries, a registry command for working with OCI registries to distribute applications.
Oh, that's fun.
That's probably what we need. So spin.
Because
what we need to do. So if we look at here, I'll just we'll take a step back. We'll look at this is the sample app that we're going to deploy, and this would work,
right?
And it'd work because the image exists on a container registry or on an OCI compliant registry.
Oh, I see.
So all we need to do is be able to take our sample app and put it on a publicly accessible registry.
I see.
Or some registry that our cluster will be able to get. And there's authentication. We can use workload identity if we use Azure Container Registry, ACR, or we could put it to GitHub under like my profile and then allow public access, and then it would be able to do it. So really all we need to do is figure out what spin command pushes it to a registry.
I see. Okay. What if we put it under your GitHub?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll need to create a token probably, but I can do that. Let's see here. So spin registry. Let's just make sure this command does it. So yeah, login, push poll. That's what we're looking for. So
let's hope it doesn't plain text any credentials.
I guarantee it is. Let's see here.
Oh, I meant like if you're like, hey, login, and then it says like, yeah. It's just the command login, not.
Oh, okay. That's a sub command, not a flag.
Yep.
I'm curious if it lets you password. Yep. Standard in. Oh, maybe I can hide it that way. --. Oh, I need a server. We'll just do localhost. Bob. I'm just wanting. Oh, there it is. No, it's going to show it. I was just seeing if there's a way I could do it without showing my token.
Yeah, you can cat the token, I assume.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on like the screen.
If it's like a file and you like cat the file out, right?
Yeah, that would hide it. Yeah. So let's go over to this tab and find a way to create a token.
But I assume you log in once, it saves the credentials, and then you're like good. So if you like just do it off screen, then you're logged in after.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that quick.
Yeah.
But first, I need to create a token. Can't you? Do you have your token set up with 1Pass?
Yep.
That's a solid idea.
Yeah, and so I can command line 1Password the name of the token, and then it'll like do because it's 1Password set up with like biometric, it'll like my like Apple Watch. I just like double press it, and then like it authenticates that way. So it's really neat.
I bet 1Pass works with YubiKey because that's what I use for
Yeah.
online. Because I have
It does.
a dumb phone, so I can't use.
Oh, right.
But I use the YubiKey for all that type of stuff.
Oh, lovely.
So I do 7 days. Definitely needs to be a repository. That's probably all it needs to do. Write packages probably.
Read probably too.
Yeah, that comes with write. There we go. Okay, that should be good.
Good.
Let's copy that. And we'll do this. Spin. Let's make sure you can't see that one. Can you see that one? No, you can't. Good. And then what would be the GHCR login? Isn't it just your... Okay, Docker login GHCR-user. Un momento. Let's see here. So desktop. Okay. Wasn't expected. Spin.
So you're just trying to log in?
Yeah.
Isn't the password just the token? Like the name is your GitHub? Okay.
Where did that go? That's the wrong one. All right, let's try this way. Waiting for authorization. Oh, my bad. I used the wrong. I'm too familiar with the Docker commands. It's spin registry. Login. Okay. I think I got it.
Okay.
So spin. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Can I?
Should be. I didn't stop sharing. I just did it all off.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it says we should be able to just use push. And I imagine if you're just in your directory, it would let you do that.
Oh, check it out. Annotations. Fancy.
Specifies to perform build spin. Could I just do dot? Because it's my local directory. Invalid image reference.
Oh, no, you gotta, so the reference format is the remote. So where are we pushing to on GitHub?
GHCR. Right? That would work.
Might need the full thing.
Oh, the name of it too. So what we want to call it? WASI. We'll just do spin sample, right?
We call it WASI Clippy spin. Oh, well.
Well, this is just the example. We didn't build our thing. Yeah. So now if we go to my GitHub, I got to hand it to them. They've made some nice tooling.
Yeah. So packages, right?
Yes, packages. Spin app, or spin sample.
Hey, lovely. And now we can point at this if we want to.
It's private, so I'm going to have to. Whoa, remember? Does this feel familiar? We spent like a whole stream trying to find that one click box in the middle of the screen. Change visibility. We'll make it public. Spin sample. Yes. I understand.
Yay.
So now if we go back here, we should be able to get this path. So now what we can do is we'll come up here, we'll create a new file, we'll curl the existing manifest, and we will copy this because this is the manifest that we need to deploy. So spin app sample, we can keep the name the same, we just change this.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let's see here. Copy. So, because that's now public. So let's, no, don't do that. Ow, that happened. Closed it on accident.
Aye.
Ha. I need to figure out the register.
Register for like Vim motions?
Yeah, because I always delete. Like I copy then delete, but Vim expects you to delete then copy because then it puts deletes in your register. So then it pushes down my copy one. So I need to figure out how to do paste from registry one back.
So I always do like visual select replace.
That's probably a good idea. Spin sample. So now we have our deployment manifest. So this looks just like you would a container, containerized application. So now we should be able to do cube apply f spin sample. Where did you save this file, you silly thing?
Under source.
Under source, okay. Okay, get pods. No alias.
Get pods, yeah.
Hey, it's running.
Hey.
And then if we port forward. Yeah. 80. So now we should be able to curl.
Hello, Fermion.
So we will host our own.
Yay. Okay, exciting. Hell yeah.
Into the road for this one. Because now the cool thing is we have this artifact now that we can start to examine. So we could pull this down with ORAS, start to look at the config for the OC artifact, see what's different, and be able to put our own application in there without using the spin tooling.
Yes.
Which it looked like we might be able to do by just modifying. What was the file that you were looking at? The spin toml.
Spin toml, yeah.
Yeah, like a new deployment, a new component.
Do you want to pull it down with how are we on time? Do you want to keep going?
I probably just got a couple more minutes before I gotta switch tasks.
Sure.
And get more caffeine.
What if we pull it down, just take a peek, and then modify it, just so we know what's in it?
Sure. Do I have ORAS tools? No. See, ORAS CLI install. Mac.
I think it's brew install ORAS.
Metal yellow, first red. Not sure what that means. Okay. Now, do you remember the command?
Yeah, it's the one that we keep messing up.
Yes. That one?
Yeah.
What was it? Isn't it pull and then like copy? Pull.
It might not be pull. It might be like the other one because there we kept like going for one, and then it was like, no, but you gotta like use
Yeah,
the
the
other
help
thing.
system always tells us where we're wrong. Let's see here.
Yeah.
OCI layout. I feel like it was. I feel like it's pull with some switches.
I don't even remember. I'm just
Hold on.
questioning myself at this point.
So let's go back to like GitHub. Where was this?
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, to OCI layout. To OCI.
Double dash.
Yes. Oh no.
Oh, rest copy. There you go. Yeah. It's not pull. It's copy.
Oh, okay. CP.
And then you need to give it a layout there. Into
Oh yes. Okay.
COPY copy.
Okay. And then let's just do the current directory.
Uh-huh.
And then there's our blobs and index.json.
Yeah.
So let's minimize that. Here's
actually, can we like redo that?
Into a directory?
Yeah.
Okay. So index, so delete this.
Yeah.
Delete this. So clear.
What's that sound?
That's my garage door opening.
Oh, okay.
My kids are home.
Yeah.
Which is funny, you can't hear an industrial fan with this microphone, but you can hear the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know, weird noise cancellation. I must think that it's a unique enough noise that it doesn't want to cancel. OCI layout. There.
Okay. What's in it? What do we have?
We've got our layout.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our index.json.
Can we format this?
It should be able to format document. There we go.
Hey.
Let's make this bigger.
So that is
it's saying that there's
looking.
Yep. That's just the image manifest.
Mm-hmm.
The ingest is empty the blobs. Here we have something. Format.
Top line.
There. Oh, recently used. Yeah. This looks like the config. So this is the image manifest. It has the configuration linked and then the WASM layer. And then here's the spin config. So that's the additional thing that we didn't have in ours. Is the spin config, which is AF, this one.
Hold on. Before we move on.
Sure. Oh,
just what?
1 second.
Just want to.
Who's this AF? Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one.
That's a new one.
You wanted this one.
Yeah. Okay, because this is this what the manifest is? I think it's called manifest, right?
Yes, this is the image manifest.
Okay.
For the entire artifact. So inside here, it links to the layers.
Yep.
And then the configuration. So you need an image manifest, you need a configuration, and you need whatever it is. Like in a containers case, this would be your storage blobs, so your file system and whatever's been zipped up and archived. But in our case, it's just a component.
Okay, so there's a Fermion spin application config, which has been added.
Mm-hmm.
That's right new. There. Yep. That's new. And then the config Kadafa is the file name. What's inside of that? So sort of going top to bottom.
This one
we
right
see
here?
the annotations, which is metadata. Then we see config. Yeah, I'm curious what's in there.
This is going to look familiar to what we had to write, which is like, what's the operating system, the architecture? Like, what's your component look like?
Com fermion spin locked app digest.
Yep. So that's yes.
That's new.
That's a label.
Okay.
That's new. This is the same.
Oh, and this points to AF8BE6. That is the app digest.
Yep.
So that looks like, is that metadata?
Component. Let's look at the OCI WASM. Or is it WASI OCI spec?
I mean, we can run a differential here, which is just pull down the.
Well, I wanted to make sure I was using the right terms.
Okay.
I was trying to find that blog post. I think it's this one. No. No. Where's the OCI? This is it. Okay, so there's the manifest and the config.
Mm-hmm.
So the media type for this would be the image manifest, which would have been.
Is this the manifest? No, this is the manifest.
This is the manifest.
Yes.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
And then it lists it. Part of it was to link the config, which is this AF8. But that's a little bit different because it's not.
No, that's the spin config. That's custom.
Yes.
The config is Gaddafi.
This one. Do we find that? VND OCI. Yeah, okay, so it's different.
On the left-hand side. Oh.
So what I'm looking for is the media type because that'll tell us. So they're using a different media type for the config than the spec defines.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had the WASM OCI spec open, but yeah, you're right.
Which
So
is
it
fine.
is
It
using
still
something
uploads,
different.
but it does use a different config media type.
Okay.
And then if we look at the image, it should have, what was the component? Application WASM was the media type for that. And so if we looked at layer, which is bad.
Yeah, that would be a .wasm file.
That's the .wasm file. And it's using a different annotation too, or a different media type.
Yeah.
It should just be application WASM, but they're using this WASM content layer.
Yeah, so they're not like at least the images they're generating are like not standards conforming yet.
Correct. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. It's still useful to like understand what's in it, I guess.
So they have the OCI config and then they have their own application config defined in the artifact, which makes sense. That's what was missing from ours and why it couldn't deploy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the WASM file, and the other three are the image manifest and the two config files.
Yeah. What's the difference between your config files? I wonder. What's supposed to be in the WASM config? I guess it's all the metadata, right? For like, here's the interfaces that you need. Here's
what should be there. If you look at this media type. Well, no, I'm wrong. Sorry. VND WASM config. Is that what they were using? No.
VND OCI image.config.
Okay, so they're using a standard OCI image config and not the specs config.
Not
so here's what should be in here. Component, exports, imports. Are they defining any of that? Let's see here.
I assume so. That's the Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
Or no. They stick that in the other one. And the bad.
And the bad one? Well, the bad's the WASM file. So AF8.
Yeah, components.
Yep.
Exports, imports. Oh, but also triggers. Check that out.
Okay, so that's more even application config.
Oh, yeah. Wait, they don't have exports and imports here. Did I?
I don't see any.
Trigger HTTP.
CAD doesn't have it either.
Interesting. Okay, so recreating this from like what we have, tricky. Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the application WASM. They sync it in here and source.
Yeah, but that's the actual like WebAssembly.wasm
Yeah.
file.
Yeah, I would expect that to be listed in the
Because
image
they,
best.
if we think about it, like what they export also is not a WASM 30. It's not a preview 2 component. This uploads like a preview 1 thing, and they do the conversion themselves.
Gotcha.
But I know Fermion is like very like they've got engineers on this that they're like, you know, making sure that you can like natively generate like preview 2 like from the Rust toolchain. So I imagine they're keen on like both following the spec and not only deploying preview 1.
If we did like spin registry push, I wonder if there's any flags that they have here to define how, like, what spec you're using. Doesn't look like it. It just takes
They may just like not have added support for it yet.
Yeah.
Or the other thing that might be possible is like they because a WASM component has a different like magic number at the start of the binary than a WASI like a native like or preview 1 thing has. So they could like detect that and like do something different.
Okay.
Potentially. But maybe the right thing to ask is like, let's just like reach out to spin folks and be like, hey, how do you deploy like a preview 2 component? Like what's the standardization path there? Because like, yeah,
I'd be interested to know. And then also, you know, if they're working on anything to say like, hey, I pushed up a component that's basically following the spec, like how do I use it with spin?
Yeah. I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
I think that's a, oh my gosh, my cat is napping on my notebook. Hold on.
I need that. Thank you.
Yes, but it's the cutest. Here, it's my notebook under her little head.
That's the perfect pillow.
Yeah, it is. So I'm trying to get it out, but she doesn't want to. Okay, I was gonna take a note of like, I'll reach out to them, but yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good stopping point. We can
I think so.
switch to the other path and see. This will be really interesting to compare how they're doing the OC artifacts.
Yeah,
Um,
because I know they are keen on all this stuff like standardizing. Like they've said as much. They've been involved in the process. They're actively pushing like on making sure all these things like work. So they would have an interest in this. So I assumed like their tooling would be like there yet, but maybe it is, and we just don't know how. So like just reaching out to them and being like, hey, we're trying to do this. How do we do it? And then they'll have an answer. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe we'll have something back by next stream. If not, we'll work on the WASM cloud and just I'm curious to compare the paths, you know?
Yes.
Because we've gone down the hard road doing it ourselves and like constructed the manifest by ourselves. And all that good stuff. So I don't know, the tooling's nice. I'm curious what WASM cloud would be like. So that'll be like, yeah, tomorrow morning, I guess. For me anyway. So tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, check out the AKS channel. That's where it'll be pushed, scheduled, so you can see what exact time zones are hard. We haven't created our converter CLI yet. Yeah, and we'll pick up kind of at that point where we'll walk through a sample with WASM Cloud and see how it differs. And the big goal here is just to see like, can we create a conversion layer that allows us between, you know, like the hard path, building it manually to whatever tooling you use, you should be able to put an artifact on a registry and then use it wherever. So like trying to iron out that story and seeing where the pitfalls are is exactly what we're currently working on. Cool. It's good progress.
I think so too. That was fun.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good start to the week. All right. We'll wrap it up there and we'll see everybody tomorrow. See you folks.
See you.